Okay, hello. Uh, so this is the fifth attempt to make a streaming today. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to record something today. And let's see. Okay, I'm live on YouTube, and it seems that is working. So no changes. It was working before, but it was very slow, so I needed to just restart everything. So now I have something here jumping music. I don't want music. I don't want to start listening to anything right now. Okay, so um, yesterday we end up by casting the balance config of the time of type to the time of type balance config data object. And we have created a test just to check if when we are creating a time of factory, it was correctly cast to the data object, and it was very cool. And I end up by creating a new test just to check if we were able to create a new time off with a data object also. And the test passed, and we are able to create it. So uh, test is passing. Beautiful. Oh, you guys, you don't see the tests. Mhm. Yep, I'm going to do it like this, and then if we needed to see the all the output, I will wrap the output again. So uh, let's. I haven't pushed the code to the repo. Let's do it right now. But before it, let's just run composer lint. Come on, this was the problem last time because it was taking too long, and hopefully right now it's going to take a little bit less time to run the composer lint. If it doesn't, I don't really understand what is the problem with my laptop. Meaning it's something, it's the world saying that I need to spend some money buying a new laptop, and that will be great. Definitely, I'm going to buy a new one. Come on. Come on. Come on. We are waiting. So, while we are here, let's talk a little bit about what we want to to implement today. So, we yesterday we end up here. Okay, instead of building a table, we have created a new field on the time of table, types table, and today we are going to do something different just to play around. So today we are going to, let's say, im- implement the time of create action. And this will be cool because we will use it in several use cases. So we will use it every time that a user on the application who wants to create a new type of, and it's missing here something, the type, okay. When user wants to create a new type of type, but also when we onboard a new organization, we will need to create the system default time of types, okay, because all organizations will have, for instance, vacations, will have sick days, they will also have, let's say, personal days, and we will create this type of system, time of types, every time that we create a new organization. So that's what we are going to build today. Okay, composer lint is done finally, but now let's also run our tests suite, and hopefully it's not going to take 30 minutes, but we never know today. It seems that is going to take 30 minutes or more. So in the meanwhile, let me check my YouTube channel. And it seems that everything is working. So now the tests are running. Yeah, we can wrap this. Let's see. And if everything passes, we can push the code and we can continue with our implementation today. Almost there. Okay. A lot of tests. So, when we are going to start very slowly, and then we are going to create the action, we are going to accept a payload that is going to be only an array. We are going to create the time of type from that array, but then we are going to use a data object um, to create the time of type. And later on, we can use it in, let's say, the console layer, the HTTP layer, and so on. I think I'm going to remove the. I think no. I'm going to remove the headsets. Okay. Ooh, way much better. Okay, I think it's done, right? No, it's still running the PHP stand. If we take all this long to run the tests and the PHP stand, it's not going to be very nice. Okay, but in the meanwhile, let's go and just look at the commit. We have 8 files to commit, and I think if all these passes, we can push the code. Let's just ask Copilot to create a commit message. Yep, we are adding the balance configuration for the time of types. And oh, now PHP stan is moving 7%. Done. Why? Why 15? Why is this taking so long? So I don't understand. Yeah, you guys don't see it. Let's see if I can remove the. Yeah, if I remove myself from the scene, you guys can see the PHP stan working there. But maybe what I'm going to do is I don't know how can I arrange here the window of PHP Sun, just so you guys can follow along the things that I'm doing and see that space there on the bottom. So almost there, almost there. %92 of PHP Sun done. 100% and no errors. Woohoo! Cool. So we can really commit and push. Let's push it, and now finally we can create our action. And okay, so our action and the way that I'm structuring this application is I'm creating a folder for each one of the entities of the application. And let's create a new time of type folder, time of type folder. And now let's create the action and time of no, create time of type. Okay, I think this is it to create the action. And now we can create another thing that we will use for sure. That is going to be, it's going to be our unit actions. And let's put it on the time of type, and now we are going to create the test for and it's going to be a new file, and it's going to be the create time of test. And we are good to go with this. Beautiful. Now maybe it just needs to be a PHP file. No, Francisco. And okay, and now let's test. Creates a time of type. Okay, and we are going to use this test um, to do a lot of tests to this section. So let's just do something here that let's just bind this action to, and let's grab the action from the container, create time of type, And so one thing that I do is I don't suffix the actions with the action word, um, because they start with the verb all the time, and then I put the, let's say, the subject or the entity right after, and it's, I think it's very easy to understand what we are doing. We are creating a time of type, and yeah. So actually, what we expect is the to have a create. No, we expect to have a time of type if we just call this action, and we call the handle method of the action, and and now we can say, okay, we are going to pass some attributes. We are going to pass the name, and we are going to say, okay, it's a vacation, and okay, let's start from here. One thing that I like to do, it's, I think this can throws something, because if it doesn't, if this will throw an exception if it doesn't find this class on the container. And now we can run the test and see what we get from the test. And it's failing because we don't have a handle method here. Of course not. We haven't implemented it before. But first, let's declare our that we are using strict types, and let's say that this is a final create time of, and public. Let's implement the method public function handle, and it's going to accept an array of attributes. It's going to return a time of type, and we are going to return just time of type create, and we pass the attributes to the create method. And now we can say, okay, we are expecting what are we expecting? The time of to be an instance of what? Time of type, not the factory, not the factory class. Let's run it and let's see what are the errors if we have. Okay. What is this saying? Okay, integrity constraint violation, not null constraint, time off, organization ID. So of course we need an organization to create a time off. So I will accept an organization here. Okay, that's cool. And I can bring this, let's say, this organization. It's going to be organization models factory, and we want to create a new organization because we need to assign it to the time of type. And we are accepting on the handle method an organization as the first parameter. So now we can say that, okay, so we need an organization, so we can pass this um, organization. Let's run the test. It's going to fail. And now what we can start to do is to have a little fun with the array spreading the array, and we want the organization ID to be the organization ID, and then we want to spread the attributes. And let's run our test again, and let's see what the results are. And and it's saying, okay, integrity constraint not null, time off type is system. Oh, of course, is asking if this is a system um, time of type or not. So we need to pass it here on the array is system. And we can say, okay, it's a vacation, so it's true. It's a time of type that our system will always have. Oh, we have other integrity violation not null. Allowed units. So we need to set up what are the units that we allow in the vacation time of type. So allowed units, we can say we have an enum, right? That is time of unit, and we can say that we can request a day of vacations, or we can request a time of half a day. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, a lot of problems with our database. What is icon? So it needs an icon. It always needs an icon. So what will be the coolest icon that we will have on our vacations time of type? So in fact, we have an enum with our icons that maps to the Lucid icon, so we can send the icon to the front end, and the front end solves the icon by itself. So we have time of icon. Yeah, we have, and do we have? Let's say plane. We have a plane taking off. So we are going to leave to, I don't know where, Barcelona. We can go to, or yeah, Barcelona, to go to our winter holidays to do some skiing. But we still have another integrity validation, that is color. So we need a color to create. Yeah, it can be that. And let's run our tests again. It's active. So it's active. It's always set to true. And I think we are going to have more and more. And if it requires approval or not. So in this case, it always requires approval. Okay, and requires justification. No, it doesn't require any justification. Requires justification document also, it doesn't need. And balance mode, let's see what are the balance modes that we have created in our system. Balance mode, and it's not balance, it's balance mode. And I think we have a time of balance mode in them, and yeah, it's annual. So every time, every year, the employee gets the right to in Portugal to 22 days of all vacations or holidays, vacations. And let's see if we are able to create it already or not. Maybe no, we are not able to create it yet. because what does it need? A balance config. hmm So, okay. So it needs a balance config, but we already have a data object that help us to define what we need regarding the balance config. So we can say that we are going to accept a time of balance config data. Yeah, and we can say that is a balance config data, and yeah, let's see if we can deal with this in this way. What is he complaining? So yeah, now he needs balance config. So time of balance config, and we can just create it from accrual days per year. Yeah, 22. Carry over type. Carry over type. Yeah, it's limited. Carry over type limit. So this means that the employee can move 5 days to the next year. So if he doesn't take all the vacation days, he can take 17 days in, let's say, 2026, 5, and he can move 5 days from 2025 to 2026. Will we be able to create time of type? And we have a time of type on our database. And uh, actually, what can we do? So, time of type from storage equals to and we expect the time of, let's see, what do we want? Just something like okay, we expect the organization ID um, to be organization ID. Okay, let's run the test, and we have it. Okay, so we have it on our database. So this is getting quite well, but okay. So usually, what I do is because I like to have, let's say, a way that when I'm creating th- this the time off type, I will like to have, let's say, some way to have type safety when I'm passing the array. And I will also want to, when I'm creating a time of type from a command or a controller or somewhere, I want to know what are the attributes that I need to pass. And of course, we can come here and we can just create. We don't need this. We don't need this, and we don't need this, and now we could, why is it complaining? Comment signature is not okay. I don't know why it's complaining there, but doesn't matter. So now I can declare the array shape and the things that we accept. And we will have to do something like the name, it will be a type of string, and his system is a boolean. Okay, and now, as you can see on the right, we start to have our the PHP Storm and our IDE to saying, okay, look, we only know that we accepted name and is system attributes on that array, or keys on that array. We don't accept allowed units. But if we wanted, we could say that we will accept the allowed units, and the allowed units, they will be an array, and we can say a time of unit array. Okay, and now we are not getting the warning on the right side, so this is very cool also. And let's say that if we change this to another thing. Mm, why are you not complaining? You should be complaining here. Is not. Okay. But it should, right? If I, just for curiosity, if I move it in this way, shouldn't he be complaining that we were passing something that? Yeah, it's we are not going to spend time on that because I don't want this. What I really want is to have a data object so I can pass it to the action, and I know specifically what are each one of the properties and the type of the properties that I need to pass. Each ones are required, each ones are not required. I think all of them are required right now, but we will then later on check with the database or the table or the model, because we have all the properties declared on the model also, so it's going to be easy. But right now what I want is I want to have a create time of type data, and we are going to, we can call it attributes, or let's go and create time of data. Okay, and then later on, what we are going to do is, instead of spreading the in this way, we are going to, since it's going to be a data object, and it's going to implement the to array, or the arrayable trait. We are able to transform it into an array, so we can spread this, and balance config can be in the end or not, or we can just do this for consistency's reason. And now let's go and create that object, data object, and yeah, we have a folder that is data, where we store all our data objects, and I think we already have here the time of type data. We already have one, but okay, let's not touch this one from the time being, because this one is we are using it right now to send the data to the front end, so we don't want to touch it, but we want to create a new one that's going to be the create time of type data, and it's going to extend from the SPETI Laravel data. And of course, we are going to declare our strict types. This is going to be a final class and public function construct. And now we can start to declare what we need. So actually, the name it's going to be, we are going to need the name, we are going to require a is system property, but now we can start to solve things in this way. And yeah, allowed units, it's going to be an array of allowed units, and description, approval, role ID, an icon, and the icon it's going to be no, the icon is always required, the color is always required, a description it's not always required, it's right. So icon needs to move up, color needs to move up, is active, we are going to need to pass it, so it needs to move up, requires approval, we need to say declare it, if it requires approval or not, requires justification, it's something that we need to handle, okay, and requires justification document, it's something that we need to specify also. Document and the balance mode, this needs to go up, balance mode, okay, and the balance mode will be it will be from balance mode, it's going to be enum, right? Time off, balance mode, okay, but let's see, because we want let's see, let's go slowly. Okay, this, what do we need here? It's going to be a time off icon. Okay, okay, and now we can just map the name to snake case mapper class. We are getting there. So what is happening here? Okay, so now we can remove this, and we can say, okay, that we are going to pass create time of type data and from, and we pass the expected perimeter to okay, because we need to go to the action actually, and we can remove the array shape, and we can say that the create, we can import the class. Let's test it. Oh, and we have uh, a time of type created. Okay, so here we are still using the array to create the object, but actually we can just do it also in this way, and then we can just add the attributes. And now, for instance, if we don't pass the is system, we are going to have a warning on our IDE saying that is missing an attribute, right? Or a parameter. Sorry. So, but if we pass, for instance, on the is system, if we pass a string, don't don't we have because it can parse a string to enum. That's it. But if we pass a number, why is it not alerting us? But let's say if we have a color that is a string and here we pass a integer, no warnings. Maybe I have shut down the warnings on tests. Okay. Let's run the test again. Okay, and let's pass a description. Employee vacation time. And we can say that we expect and time of type description to be I don't know, dummy test. Okay, and it's passing to watching. So now we have our action, we have our test to use the action, and let's look at let's just run paint or linked. Very slow. But I think I'm going to stop for today. This was fun again. I had a lot of fun again creating this section. Yeah, and I think this is a cool example how we can create an action, pass the parameters to the action, and handle the creation of something on our database. And then we are going to maybe tomorrow, maybe no, tomorrow we are going to see how we can use this action on the when we are creating an organization. So, folks, that's it for today. Hopefully you enjoy, and yeah, let's see us tomorrow.